Hello, coders. Sorry, you just cut that music off a little bit. Hello, hope you're well. Um, yeah, things are a little bit strange today because I've changed my order of the windows around because I was doing some recording yesterday for a programming course that I'm doing, and haven't reset it back to where I was. So please bear with me whilst I mess around a little bit. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a great weekend. We're going to be doing some more work on the howtocodewell.net website. This today we're going to be doing a little bit more GraphQL. We're going to be doing a little bit more Gatsby, and we're going to be doing some work on the pagination. Let's see if I've got all the windows in the right place. Bear with me just a second whilst I sort all of this out. I need that. That's what I need. Yes. So if I go over to the Coda window here, we can see. Whoops. We can see the progress board. We can see that we've got 14 done. Woohoo! One is in progress. And if I open this up, we can see that I'm slowly adding more subtasks to this. This is the task, create the page to show all courses, which are free. And I've added a couple more subtasks in here. Yes, CS Gaming, I am making a new website. Howtocodewell.net is the website that I'm rebuilding. I'm rebuilding that in a static site generator called Gatsby. It's going to pull in some APIs from some data from APIs, I should say, from Ghost, which is a content management system for publications. So we're using Ghost for the blog, and I've created a system for courses because of all the courses that I have. And we have an API on that, and this is what we're going to be working through, the courses page. So let me see if I can get some tunes on. Bear with me just a second. I should warn you all that the internet keeps dropping here because of the storm. things are a bit screwy. So let me just see, where was that tab gone? Yeah, we've done quite a lot of changes and stuff already. As you can see, there's a number of things that have already been done. We're going to be working on the pagination today, and I found that there was an issue when there was no courses found. It throws an error, so we need to make that a little bit more presentable. And this task here, create all tutorial fixtures, I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. I'm actually going to be taking that out of this parent task and creating another task itself, but I'll talk about that why. I'm trying to find, I had a... yeah, I must have got rid of it. That's annoying. It's not that one. I thought I had I thought I had a tab open with music, and I can't find it. So maybe that has gone nights. Let me see if I can get it. Bear with me a minute. It was... No, that's not the right address. Come on, Pete. And pause that, Mo. There we go. Yeah, so it's all a little bit... There's still an awful lot of work to do. Here. I mean, this is just one task of like a gazillion tasks. And I keep having to refer back, see all of these. I keep having to think about the MVP, the minimum viable product. What is the minimum thing that I can actually put out to the world on the first ever release? And I mentioned last stream, I think it was last stream, that one of the things that I could do is I could... that's better. One of the things that I could do is really hone down and just replace the normal site, the howtocodewell.net site, and not have additional features in the first ever iteration. That's an idea. However, I would like this site to be a site where people can sign into, and there'll be benefits of doing so as well. So that might happen eventually, but we'll see. We'll see. We're a long way off yet. It's built in Gatsby, which is a static site generator. It's pulling in data from various sources, including custom sources that I've created. Let's go and have a look at the code, shall we? So, as the music's now on. All right. So I've done an amazing amount of work in the last couple of days on this. Somehow, I don't know how I managed it. Let's pull that down. And I was working on on another machine, so I'm having to pull the code in. Okay, so here we go. So that should now be in. The changes I've made are how the data is fetched. So, for the courses, I should say. So the courses, they come from a Symfony API, and that API is, they're all in Docker. All of these bits and pieces, apart from Ghost itself. Apart from Gatsby itself, because that's a static site. There's no need for that. So I should be able to do docker ps-a, and I should be able to see all the containers. So there's 3 at the moment. One is the gateway, one is the course API, and one is the course database. So it's running through a sort of a quote-unquote gateway, because there's going to be more APIs coming up eventually. And so I want an Nginx gateway, which will allow me to target various different APIs through almost like a web server, really, a reverse proxy. So in plugins, in Gatsby plugin How to Code Well course, in here I've changed it somewhat. So this is actually producing the options to create the API endpoint, and we're actually running on filters. So active filters, so it's only returning courses that are active, and we're also supplying in page numbers as well. This is all constructed in this set of options, shall we say. Okay, so then that's looping through all of this stuff and doing all the nice bits and pieces and creating the nodes and all of that stuff, as you would expect. But the real change has been in the node, this bit here, the Gatsby node, because what I'm actually doing now is building pages. I'm building pages from the return of the API in the form of GraphQL. So here, for instance, we've got all How to Code Well course, and it's producing a bunch of nodes, pulling out the slugs, and then down here we are creating the course pages. We're creating the pages. Now this is pagination, so this allows me to change the number of items per page. And then up here, I believe it's up here, we're actually creating the pages themselves. So that would be /course, and then that's the course slug. Now there is a bug in this, which I'm hoping to solve today. And also this stuff here, I can get rid of that because that's just me trying to play around with the code. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can actually get this to run, shall we? That would be a great a good idea. I've also changed the course API as well, so I'm going to have to bring that up as well, because you may have noticed that there's now an active flag. And I was thinking, let's talk about this MVP for a minute, because I was thinking about how, there's a lot of work here that needs to happen in terms of copy. There's a lot of non-technical work that needs to happen. So I need to create in the database all of the tutorials for all of the courses. There's an awful lot there's 16 courses, and therefore there's going to be anywhere up to, I don't know, if you've got, say, 10 tutorials per course, that's a lot of data that has to be put through. And we're not talking about just filling out records. We're talking about putting in course descriptions, course titles, meta, images, all sorts of things per tutorial. It's a bit of a copyright writer's job, to be honest, to work through that. So I think what I'm going to do is do that off stream, because there's an awful lot that I need to tackle. Last stream I demonstrated how to, or last Sunday I think it was, how I was doing that through a multi-nested array. And I pulled in all of the courses except the tutorials. Now there's an error because the course expects a tutorial, or at least one. So I can't really push that to GraphQL because that in itself is a data error. So what I've decided to do in the interim is I'm gonna have to pull this down as well. I may have to. Did I actually push that up? No, I didn't. Bear with me just a second. Let me push that code up. So what I've done in the interim is the courses that don't yet have a tutorial, because I just haven't had a chance to add that tutorial to the course, I've set as inactive, which means that they're not actually being displayed on the website at the moment. And I think this is a big compromise, because there's more courses that don't have tutorials in the database than there are courses that do. However, I also did that. I forgot I did that. However, I think that I would prefer it to go live with a skeleton amount of courses than go live with all the courses and all the bells and whistles, just for time's sake. I'm extremely busy. And I think if it's okay, I'm not going to prevent this from going live just because I've missed a course. That can be added the following week if need be. It's all about getting to this core MVP. What is the minimum viable product? Let me I'm just running off of the laptop here. I'm going to just push this up to the repo. I've also updated Composer as well for this, so I'm going to have to do that too. Okay, that's done. So now I'm going to pull it down. Git repository pull. Yep. Groovy. Okay, so what I've done here on the course fixtures is I've actually put a active flag here as false. You'll see that it's false on most of them, which is a shame. On this one though, it's true. So it's only going to be pulling out the courses that are active. So what I need to do is I need to dive onto the box, docker exec, go into here, and then I need to do, well, first of all, I need to do a Composer install, because I've done an update, and it's going to be a big one. I think I mentioned last stream that the course API was an API that I built a year ago, or last year, and because of time constraints, I left it. So there's a lot to update. But I've updated it and I've tested it and I know it works, so that's all good. One thing I've totally forgotten to do is get on Discord. Come on, you. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm on Discord, which means that I should be able to... You should be able to see it in the stream that I am live. Groovy. Yep. Good. Okay, let's minimize that. Okay, lots and lots and lots of stuff to do. Quite a few. Quite a lot of packages there. Fingers crossed this is all going to work as it has on the laptop. There's always a little bit of concern when you're moving from one code to another code, from one machine to another machine. This is why it's in Docker, of course. So what I can do here is I can do bin db update. So I'll drop the database, create the database, migrate the database, so that's running through all the SQL changes, and then purge the database, add the fixtures in, which should mean now that I have courses that are active and courses that are active, and some courses that are inactive, which should hopefully follow the if I go to, I'm in the wrong project, this project, if I go to the where did I put it, plugins, in here, it should now abide to this filter, so all active is 1. Okay, cool. So let's see if we can get this to run, shall we? Let's see if we can get Gatsby to actually do something. I'm going to just create another I don't want to do that. Let's do horizontally. All right, so we're going to dive into the portal here, and then we're going to do Gatsby develop. Yeah, run it off of that portal. That's fine. Can you see that's now called that URL? And then it's pulling in these 3 courses, because there's only 3 active courses. There's 16 in total, but there's only 3 active at the moment. So as this progresses, there'll be more courses coming online. The reason, obviously, why they're inactive is because I haven't had a chance to do the tutorials, and I'm thinking that, you know, I'll definitely do those off stream, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be a couple of weeks worth of work to go through and do all of that. And I'll probably do them in the evenings. So as the streams go on, you'll see more courses being added. Okay, so this is the error that I mentioned before. So what it's trying to do here is it's trying to produce the actual page for the particular course itself. We'll tackle this in just a second, but there is an error in my GraphQL. Something to do with the slug. It's not working. Hello, Tyrannid. Hope you're well. So yeah, this is an error. It seems to be an error per... Well, yeah, it would be per page. But let's see if we can get the actual... Where did the port go? Here we go. Let's see if we can actually get this to run. So we're now running off of that port, aren't we? 9. Okay, so that's the rubbish home page, but the thing that's important is the course page. Okay, yeah. So there's two courses here, and I've got the pagination running. So we've got page 1 of 2. So if I hit next, it should now go to page 2, which it does, and then we have this page here. And if I go previous, there. Okay, so the pagination is yeah. As always in a rush. Yeah, always full throttle. Well, you know, that's the only way to be, isn't it? So, pagination is kind of working. The problem I have, though, is this issue here. So it's the slug, I think. And I think what's happening is if I hit one of these, yes, I get a 404. And I want this actually to go to course / because you have to remember that there's this website isn't just going to be the courses, it's going to be the blog and all of this, and even that. Who needs rest? Hey, who needs rest? So yeah, there's this really weird issue going on here. So we'll work through that. But first thing is first. There is this add pagination. Now I'm going to class this as done, okay? Because you've just seen it. So at least there's that. And I know it was done because I did it this morning. But there we go. Done. Doosh. So, and this creates all the tutorial fixtures. I think this is going to be an ongoing task. I think I'm not. Maybe I should remove it from this section. Maybe. Well, it doesn't really matter where it goes, to be honest, as long as it's there. as long as it's like, you know, I can refer back to it. Show a message when the courses are not found. No, that certainly doesn't work. I want to add another one though to fix this issue. And I think what I need to do is create a bug for it. I just want something that I can refer to just in case I don't fix this in this stream. I've got something that I can say that I'm, you know, I'm still working on. I can change this to be a bug, of course. So the big red dot, or it's a white dot on a red background. So what should I call this error? I'm thinking, well, let's put that in as some context. I think I'll just say error. Oops. Oh, no. Too many buttons. Error when creating course page. And I'll put it in there. And I'll fix this before I tackle this one here, I think. I'll fix the bug before I add the feature. Okay, let's put in some context. Are you going to allow me to add any description? Thank you. There we go. So that's our type error. And there was also a GraphQL error. Okay. Just as some reference. Because what happens, you see, is I switch machines. So after the stream, I'll commit everything, push it up, and then go and work on another machine. So, right, where should one start on this particular journey of failure? I think we could, this one here, how to code well course, this one here is undefined. So, and that's landing on the actual page itself. So let's take a look at this. This is landing on the page course. So it knows that there is a page, right? And I think I could actually check that. If I go to public, so this is the generated page from Gatsby, or pages, I should say. And if I go into, there should be one in here for course, somewhere, static. No. Author, accounts, blog, register. Oh, I thought there was... That's peculiar. I thought there would be a folder in here called course. There's one called static. No, that's just page data. Course. There we go. And then in course, you have all the courses. There we go. Yep. Right. I'm not sure what that's about, page. Maybe that's the... Oh, yes. So that's the page numbers. Gotcha. Okay, so we can get to here. It's just this is undefined. Does it give you a line number? It does. Brilliant. Line number 8. Okay, so that, at least that's something, right? So the problem is in the template, and what I've done is I've changed these templates because before I had a folder in pages called course, but actually what I've done is I've created a template for courses and I've created a template for the course itself. So we're in here, it's failing on line 8, which is there. Okay, you can see it loud and clear. Data.howtocodewell course is undefined. Now, actually, that should be lowercase. I'm wondering if that's the error. There we go. So there was a problem with the prop types. That's also lowercase. Okay, let's see if we can run this again. So we're going to go to scroll to the bottom. Let's see if I can just get it to build again. It probably did because it's in hot reloading, but we'll try it again. Okay, so there's still an error. That error that we had. I think there were two separate errors, because it doesn't look like we've got a actual JavaScript error. We now have a GraphQL error. Okay, GraphQL. The GraphQL query from blah 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 failed. Okay, the value slug was never used in operation of the course query. Okay. Let's just go to the page and see what it looks like. Now that should be out of the way. Okay, so it's still saying that that's undefined. All right. So the other issue is that it's this here. It's referring to slug, which is a string. And it's saying that the variable slug is never used in operation. That's the URL. That is the context. I'm wondering if the URL needs to match the context. That probably is why, isn't it? So let's go and have a look at how the pages are constructed. This is in Node.js now. Oh, sorry, Gatsby node, I should say, not Node.js. Node, down here. Down, 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 straight to the bottom. So that's how the blog is built. That's how the pagination for the blog runs. Then this is the pagination for the course page, and then this here is how the course pages are constructed. So I'm wondering if there's a problem with the slug. So we've got node URL, which is this one. Path is node URL. The slug should be attribute slug. That looks okay to me. Running off of the course template. Because essentially what this is doing is it's passing all the nodes, and then it's saying, okay, find me the URL of that node, which is the slug, the actual address, and then it creates the page passing in that URL, so the URL of that page, based on a template, and then we're passing in some context here. So this is all the GraphQL variables. So we're passing in slug, node attribute slug, which if I load up, where are we? Let's scroll up a wee bit. I want to find this one here. Let's see if we can actually do it, run it through GraphQL. That would be good. All right. So what's happening is that we're going to, sorry, jumping about. We're going to the how to code well course, and we're passing in attributes slug that equals, and we're equaling, if we go to here, we are trying to equal Docker for beginners. So if I put that in there and then press play, and then obviously return, I don't know, let's just return the title just to make sure things are okay. Yeah, Docker for beginners. So that's how we want to construct the query. So again, lowercase h, and then passing in attribute slug, EQ, and then the name of that. So it would be node attribute slug. But the thing that puzzles me, right? The thing that puzzles me is it's actually saying is never used in operation. So it's not saying that it is used and it's in error. It's saying it's never used in operation. So, okay, Tyrone is asking why not node.slug equals rather than, I guess, rather than attributes. the reason is that when it comes back from the API, they are within the attributes rather than above. So another level up. Because what's happening is it's coming back from the API in JSON API format, which puts all the attributes in an attributes bit, if that makes sense. I don't know. Just thinking back of what I've just said, it just sounds like gobbledygook. But yeah, it's the form of the array that comes back. Yeah. This is why. So this is why if I go to this one here, we've just got node.blog. This is the Ghost return, because the Ghost API return is very different from the Course API return. We have to go through attributes. So this still isn't solving this. I'm wondering if I need to add, maybe I need to add the course. I'm just going to start hacking things together now. Let's just try and put that in instead. Right, so this is now course attribute slug. I don't think this is going to work one bit, but we'll see. I just want to see really what the output is like on here. Let's rebuild it again. Okay, so yeah, so it's not going to find that, is it? Because if I go to here and put this in, yeah, it's just not going to have a clue, is it? If I run that, it's just going to go, what? So that's not going to work. So it has to be slug. Yeah. But why is it not used in operation? Let's see if I can. There's a history tab here, which is very handy. Okay, so there's a problem then, I guess, in here. I tell you what, let's tidy up this file. Let's get rid of these red things, because it would be. It's always easier to work on clean looking code. It also gives me a chance to think. Empty line. Is that it? You're just complaining because there's an empty line. Unused constant. Course query. I think that's okay. If we had a look at how Ghost does it. So with Ghost, we have a blog, right? So this is listing through all of the blog cards, so post card, right? And then you have a post itself. So essentially I'm doing a similar thing in the sense that I have courses, right? So this is the list of courses. And then I have a course. So my course would essentially be... Why is that equal? Oh, hang on a minute. I think I've just spotted something. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I have. I've spotted something. Here, it's equaling nothing. That's not right. It should just be equal of the slug. Let's put that in. Wow. Let me just double check how that format works. So on the post here, it's just slug and then object eq slug. So here it's attributes slug eq slug. That's probably why it's saying that makes sense now, because it's saying that the operation slug is never used in the operation. That's because I had it set to a blank string. That's because I'm a moron. Right. Yikes. Okay, let's Let's close this down, run it again. And they're all building. It's running. And it's done. It's done. Okay, so we didn't have any errors. That's good. That's exciting. So if this works, I'll show you what it should look like if it works. If it works, it should just say the attribute. It should just go, there's the title. But essentially what I want to do in this stream, if this works, is to actually carve the page up and have the main embedded YouTube video and the tutorials running off of the right hand side. But let's see. Let's not get too ahead. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Now, there is a problem. There is a problem. Right. I need to... These aren't linked correctly. If I click on that, it's going to go straight to Docker for Beginners. What I need to do is I need to adjust the way in which I actually create these course pages. So I think... No, that's done... Sorry. That's done in the actual scroll course card. So here, where we've got link to, this needs to go to /course/ and then the slug. All right, let's see if we can refresh this. Hit that. Yes. Go back. Hit that. Yes. Boom. Okay, slowly wiring these things up. Let's hit next. Hit that. Yeah. Woohoo. Okay. Little wins. Little wins. I'm going to just have a sip of tea. I've also been given... my wife's been baking. Whoops. Ding. Cream horns. So I don't know if I can show you these. Woo. So I'm going to have a little nibble. Bear with me, Mo. Sunday streams are turning into eating cake streams. Bear with. Mmm. Wow. That's good. That's good. Okay. Looking at all of these things now, I'm seeing all sorts of errors. Missing commas. What's all this stuff? An extra semicolon. No! Get rid of your dirty semicolons. Go away! Colons! Colons no more. Missing an alt. Oh, that's the image, isn't it? Image here. The alt tag. I guess what I could do for the alt tag is I could use the post.attributes .title for the time being. Is there anything else moaning? Yes. What's this? Unresolved variable. Is it really? Well, it works, so it works. Okay, let's then start playing on the actual display of this. Now, I've mentioned, and I'll mention again and again and again, I'm not a web designer. So, I know that there's a ton of alignment issues. You know, all of this stuff, I'm aware of that. I am totally aware of it. The way I'm thinking at the moment is that I would like the whole thing to be in full width with obviously a proper margin and everything, rather than be in the middle of the page. It gives you more real estate, and I think you'll have a big YouTube video here, or course video, or wherever the video is hosted, and then on the right hand side here we'll have a list of all the tutorials. with like next and previous buttons. Okay, so that's exciting, isn't it? So, what can we do? Well, we've got all of these things to play with: title, subtitle, duration, content, slug, active, publish date, even the views. We don't need the views, and the thumbnail. So what we could do is we could get the first tutorial back. If I was to run this as a GraphQL query here, so if I was to go into here and run that again, and see if I can match this up. So we've got title, slug, thumbnail, I don't know, views, we've got active and content. Okay, so there's some more. Okay, so we got the thumbnail, that's cool. And then to get the tutorials out of this particular thing, we've got tutorials down here. This is the relationships. So we can pull out the IDs. Now this is going to be a bit tricky because the way this is laid out, the API doesn't return all the tutorials in the course. What it does is it returns all of the IDs of the tutorials of the course. So I kind of need to make another. I either need to fix that and see that as an issue and actually get that running in the Symfony backend, or create another API call that gets those particular bits and pieces. What I can do for now is I can just list out tutorials, just an LI, a UL LI for each one, and then put in some placeholder text. I think I need to go away and have a little think as to what's your type, as to how that works. Because it's not just the title I need the duration as well. So there's going to be a little bit of metadata coming down the wire. Yeah. Let me think about that. Let's try it. Let's just try it, shall we? Well, let's just see how tricky it is to do. Go to the course API here. It is in the... Which one am I working on? It is JSON API in document course. It is the courses document. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not the document. It's the hydrator course. Or is it in the transformer? Here we go. Yeah, so this is returning all the various bits and pieces based on the JSON API schema. So I don't even know if it's valid to do this, but what this is doing is it's returning tutorials, unless I was to change the transformer of the tutorial. So we've got get ID, get meta, get links, get attributes. So it's not returning the attributes, that's the problem. So we'd have title here, we would have an active, we also need to return duration, so that's not in this, I don't think. I think what I'll do is I will make a note of that. We also need to obviously update that fix that I put through, so this is now done. So this is, where's the, there we go, done. Save. Okay, so there's this one here. I'm still going to leave that as... I think I'll put that over there for a minute, and I'll grab this one, because now we're working on the actual page itself. So, create an API endpoint to fetch the course. Well, that's done. Thank you very much. Pages should include the course title. Well, that's done, because I've just done that. Okay, page should list tutorials in the course. That's not done. Page should include the duration. Not done. Each tutorial should show the tutorial thumbnail. I'm thinking of changing that now. Each tutorial should show its title. And each yeah, okay. So I'm going to create a new task in here for create or show or display course thumbnail. Okay. And then also display course description. Yeah, cool. Wonderful. And I'll drag these to the top of the pile. I try and do them like the stuff at the top is the stuff that I want to work on. So let's do description here. This needs to be myself, MVP, UI, that's good. And then here, the course thumbnail is myself, and this is MVP and UI as well. Cool. So we'll work through these two, I think, and then we can go down and start working through. Each tutorial should show its title. Each page should list tutorials in a course, in course. Each tutorial, yeah, okay, that's kind of the same thing, but all right. Cool. I'm gonna dive off and just go to the loo, but I will be back very, very shortly. Gonna eat the rest of this lovely little cake here, and then I'm gonna grab a cup of tea. Thinking about this display, I think there's going to be lots of other things that I want this to do. Like I want people to have the ability to access the code as well. So I'm not too sure where that's going to be. Again, I'm not a web designer. But I think what we can do, in the interim, is like I'm in the wrong project. In here, we could at least display the. Oops! I keep thinking it's twig, and it's not. We can display the. Did I call it description? The content. Here we go. So result dot attributes. I really should sort the prop types out for this. Attributes dot content. Okay, let's refresh that page. Yay, okay. So it's not great, but it's there. Okay, I'm gonna grab a cup of tea, and I will be back. Forgot to put the BRB screen on. So I've got more tea, and I don't know if you can see it. This is biscotti. Very tasty. So Um, we're going to be fiddling around with this page, I think, for a bit. And I guess what we're going to do or use is a wee bit of tailwind, I think. Let me see if I can tidy this up somewhat. I'm not sure. Let's get rid of that redundant div there. Let's see what that's done. Hasn't done anything. Okay, I want this to be probably in a container. Oops. Let's actually go back to the code so you can see it. Okay, so that's now in the container. And then, excuse me, let's create another div here. And what I would like to do, like I said, is I would like to carve it up. So one side of the screen is the one side of the screen is the tutorials, list of tutorials, and the other side of the screen is the actual course, I guess, right? The actual video, that would work. So I'm going to do a class name here. We're going to do flex for that, and I think flex, L-E-X, E, not R. And then this is going to be, if I was to think of how this is in my head, we would have the course, we'd have the title. So let me just paint this to the page for a minute. So we have this section here, which is going to be the course section, and then we have this section here, which is going to be for the tutorials. And then this is going to have a bigger width than this one. So this would be our list of tutorials. So this would be like a UL or a series of divs. And let me see, I'm going to have to go and refer back to the tutorial, to the tailwind stuff. Let me also see why the music has stopped. There we go. So, and also let's go to tailwind.css, and let's have a look at and I'm not sure whether I want to do it in grid or flex. It's probably best to do it in flex, actually. Now obviously it changes to the width of things. So this is going to be, we can do this at least. This is going to be the image src of the thumbnail, which I believe is results. Let me go back to GraphQL here. Scroll up a wee bit. Yeah, it's attributes thumbnail. Like that. Okay. All right. So, and this will be the first thumbnail. You would press play on this, and it would load the first tutorial. That's what I'm thinking. And then on this side, you would have a list of the tutorials. So if we go back to, say, this one, for instance, and then down here you would have the course description. Now I could either do it like that, that's one way of doing it, or I could actually have like cards for every tutorial, but remember there are in some cases there's like 20 tutorials per course, so I would have to have some form of pagination. Whereas if it was on the right hand side here, you would have and in fact the cards don't really make much sense, because it would just be the same kind of image each time. So you would have a list of tutorials on the right hand side, their titles and the durations, and then you perhaps even have this as a scroll bar. Now this does mean, of course, that I'm going to have to create a page. Well, I can either do it as so yeah, I can either create a page per tutorial, and then so the link would be course, and then the name of the course, and then / say 1 or 2 or 3 for the actual tutorial number. Or I could use anchors, so I could do #1, #2, #3, #4, that kind of thing. On the existing How to Code Well site, if I go to howtogowell.net, not the FM site, the net site. If I go to here and scroll down to all free programming courses, because essentially this is what we're rebuilding here. If I was to start that course up, then it would be like this. And the way I've got it running is, you can see How to Code Well courses, so I might have to change that, or have some sort of mod rewrite for the URLs. Docker for beginners, and then let's pick one from random. Let's say this one. This would then be / exposing container ports. I'm not sure I need to go that verbose, because some of the tutorials are actually quite lengthy, and also there may be a time where I have to change the titles of them, so I don't think I should rely on the titles. This actually highlights a big task for me, because this means that I'm going to have to do some mod rewrite rules to say that the URLs that are currently in play are different. For one, courses should be course, and for two, that should probably be like 1 or 2, or in this case, where are we handling volumes? 10. And this is 10 handling Docker volumes. This is handling volumes, so they don't actually match up anyway. So I can't remember what black magic is going on behind the scenes for that. Yeah. Okay. So, and as we've mentioned previously, we're going to be changing these thumbnails. So, okay, enough of that. So let's see if we can get the tutorials here. Now, this is running off of results attributes, but in fact what I need is something completely different. I need relationships. So what I need to do is something a little similar to the way this works. So if we go back to here, we do result.relationships.tutorial as a map. Attributes, and then it's not attributes even, it's relationships. So results.relationships, and we're pulling out the tutorials, and I think we even have to go data. Let's try it. Okay, so then this is a tutorial. If I can spell tutorial, geez. Thank you. No, that's even wrong. Right, and then index. Now, really, I don't think that we need to do that. We could return a li if this was in li's. And we could... This isn't twig. Let's do I can't remember what the response is on GraphQL. It is data and then ID. So if this was in UL land, so I'm just throwing things on the page at the moment, seeing what sticks. It won't look like this to finish off with. We're going to do a key, and we'll make that key the index, like so. Okay. So what have we got? What does it look like? There we go. Okay, so we've got the list here. These are all the IDs, not what we need, but again, I'm just trying to map things to the screen. So in fact, that's actually a link. So really, we could use ULs, but to be honest, I think what we need to do instead is divs. And that being a href. Let's just put it as a blank string for now, or a hash for now. Okay. Okay. All right, let's tidy this up a wee bit. So this is the let's do PR pull P4. And let's move those to the right a wee bit. So let's do M4. Well, it's ML4 for margin left. Okay. So it would be nice if this was the same height, so it ran at this point here. Also, it would be nice if the H1 here, we get rid of that. So that's in line. If we can knock that down a wee bit, how would we do that? So we could either give it some margin, but that would look terrible, or we ran it in line. So we put this up there. Let's just try and have a play. MT20. I know this is going to be terrible, because essentially if I go to develop and then show web inspector, let's get rid of that. Don't need that. Yeah, so that is starting in line with the title. So that then means that I need to get the title out of here. Boom. Bye-bye. Put it up there. There we go. Which means that now I can get rid of this margin top. They should now, yeah, be at the same level. Okay. All right. Now, obviously, this is going to be an embedded video, so that will be different. And what I would do is get the first tutorial. See what I mean by I need to actually put in some hours to put in to update the copy. This is rubbish for, you know, a single sentence just for the name of the course, for the, you know, description of the course. This isn't correct. This should be, I should be talking more about the learning objectives and all of this stuff. So that's wrong. So, okay. Let's have a quick play and see. No, so that needs to have a wrap on it, a flex wrap. Yikes, not that much. Can we do W width? 1/3 maybe? No. So that'd be 1/2. And for some reason, that's not right, is it? Let me go back to the docs. Look for width. That's half of what. This is essentially what I want to do, but backwards. So you would have, if it was defined as six columns per width, this one here would be 5/6. This one here would be whoops, 1/6. I think. Just dragging this out now just to see if I can get it to. Let's take that out. There we go. Okay, so let's do div class name, wrap that around there, and this becomes padding left 4. Let's bring those back in there. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is get the names of these things, because I don't know the widths and stuff. So to do that in Symfony, when I'm returning the course, I'm returning all of the get tutorials here, and then it's going through the tutorial resource transformer here, and it's pulling out various bits and pieces apart from the attributes. Get default included relationships, no. Get relationships, no. Get links, get type. So thumbnail is that's getting that thumbnail. links, get meta. Let me just see what it's like on Postman, because I'm not convinced. I'm thinking I'm missing a part of the puzzle here. I thought. Now let me just double check I've got everything wired up. Yeah. All right. So what it's doing, if I'm getting a course by, say, Slug, well, in the API's world, it's actually by ID. So if I did course API, get one by ID. Okay, oh, nope, the ID doesn't exist. Let's try that one. Hang on a minute, what's going on? Ah, let's take that out. Okay, here we go. So this is the PHP strings jobby. Actually, that doesn't have any tutorials, does it? That's one I don't need. I want Docker for beginners. What's the one I want to play with? Okay, so this returns data with relationships. The relationships return the tutorials and their ID. I have a suspicion that there's also an included set. So we have included video sources, videos, relationships, authors, meta. Here, yeah. So this is part of let's try and work this through. So this is the problem with the JSON API schema. I find sometimes it's just a bit of a nightmare to navigate it sometimes. So it's in included. And frustratingly, it looks like, yeah, it looks like the tutorials aren't grouped together. It's just entities that are included, which is really annoying. Relationships, image. Okay, so it's the included bit, isn't it? So where we've got data, we have relationships within that. Is that within the data? Yes, because that's attributes. But I have a suspicion that included, yeah, it's outside of data. So, therefore, I'm going to need to alter the plugin to return not only data but relationships too. Oh, sorry, included too. Okay, how do I do that? So it gets the course, creates the node. Node ID. Is there anything in here that I can actually say? Oh, process course. That's what I want. Process course. So we got the course ID. Stringify the course. So that's the node content. Node data is a sign of the course. So it's in there. It just doesn't appear to be in the GraphQL. And I think I can verify that by going to GraphIQL and seeing if there is an included section in here, which I don't think there is. So no, it's not. So that's relationships, tutorials. So, oh, that's handy. I can actually go that far down. So what I could do then is modify the GraphQL, this one down here. So where we've got relationships and attributes, I think how to code well course. It's when the, hang on a minute, I'm having to think about this. It's when it gets added to the node, and it does get stringified. So it does get stringified. So if we go to node.config here, scroll up to the top. That's getting attributes and slug. That's fine. That's a request that is made. So that's fine. Then here, this is a request that gets made too, but this is pulling relationships and attributes. So I'm wondering if I need another section. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I'm wondering if I need another section in here called included, I think. And I think if we go to, yeah, that's okay. It's failing. That's no problem. I think if we just check the postman. So we've got data, relationships, tutorials, included. Here we go. So we have included type and attributes. All right. So let's put in, so that would be type. I think this is right. I think this is okay. Having to type and then ID. No, in fact, I think it's just at this point, isn't it? I think it's type, ID, and then I believe it's attributes of that. Which would then be the various things. The trouble is, it's going to be different for each one. Let's just see if I can get that to work without the attributes. Let's save that. Rebuild the things. I have a slurp of my tea whilst this is going on. Okay, something's gone bang. Unknown field included. Well, it's there. Is it because it's just not in? It doesn't seem to be passed in here, is it? So that would be type. No, relationships, tutorials, data, element match. So that's not happening. And then here we've got attributes, children, ID, internal. What's that? Nope. Then we've got relationships. And then we've got type. If we go to all How to Code Well courses in Node, yeah, so included doesn't appear to have been added. And yet, yeah, let's get rid of this for a minute. And then let's have a look at not that one, this one. Let's just do a console.log of the course, stringified, of node content. Let's just grab that for a minute. And then let's do a rebuild. Actually, that's going to be... Well, let's see. This might actually be quite tricky to debug. Yeah. It doesn't appear to have added the included section. It does appear to have just done the relationships. If I'm looking here, relationships. So I would have thought that there would have been another section for included, but that didn't go through. Now relationships is within attributes, so no, it's not. It's within data. So I'm wondering if it didn't actually get brought in. Ah, here we go. That's the thing. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. So response.data is this response.data, and it's a JSON object that has all of the course data, right? But the included thing is outside of data. So that isn't going to work. Which is a pain, because this is now doing this is a for each. So I need to think how to get around that. Maybe am I causing too much? I mean, is it too difficult to ask for a nested array, or is this I think that's going against the JSON API spec. If I say, oh, I want to have a subarray of an entity, it does get added as the included. So what I would need to do, of course, is I would need to then loop through all of the tutorials, get the IDs out, then loop through all of the included bits, check if it was a tutorial, and then, where are we? Yeah, check it was tutorials, get the ID of the relevant tutorial, and then add the bits. Crikey. Fun and games. Fun and games. So, alright. Where do I start with this thing? Let's do an let of tutorials, right? Is an array. So, well, actually, it's going to be one for each. It's going to be in here, isn't it? Because we're looping through So let's do let included is equal to response. It's response dot included. That's what I'm missing here. Dot included. Okay. Because and then what I need to do is do an included. I think included is an array. I think. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Included dot for each. Would be no included dot map. We want to check that the included item. So if we did item key and if we did if item dot, and that would be type is equal to tutorials, then pull that out and set it to, so let's do dot append dot push item. So that should now get all the things. There's no need for that, is there? Right, so that's looping through all the included bits and then seeing if there's a tutorial, and if there is, then we add it to our tutorial section. Okay, surely that's all we need to do, right? Do we need to worry about wiring up the relationships? I don't think we do. I think as long as the tutorials come through. So okay, all right. Let me think. Think. So this is going through a promise. So then response JSON, then response. We get the tutorials. And what we want to do is put the course and the tutorials through and then sort of match them up somehow. Oh, hang on, I've gone and broken this. Hold on, I've broken it. It's gone bang. This is within this then, it's not another promise, isn't it? So that would be here. Z. No. Bringing them all back to what it was, please. Yeah, data.forEach. Gotcha. Okay. And then let included. Let me just do a console.log of tutorials at this point. and we'll do tutorials.length, because technically that should be an array, and we can work on the rebuild of this. It's a bit of a faff to do this, to be honest. Am I still printing that out? That's yes. That's gonna get annoying. All right, let me try that again.
One day you'll figure this out. When you do, you will change the world.
29. This one has 29 tutorials. So let's make the output a little bit more verbose, because I'm just gonna print out numbers and it's not gonna make any idea. I'm not gonna have a clue. Course equals has 29 tutorials, and let's just do a course name. Course name is well, I'm not going to know that, am I? No, I do need to marry up the IDs, don't I? Gosh, because this is getting all the included things, and oh dear, dearie me. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get all... Does this come back with the ID? Sorry, I'm thinking out loud now. Tutorials has data. That has the ID, but does the included have the ID? And I can find that out through here. Yes, it does. Okay, so this is where I'll have to make that connection, right? So we should be able to do, because I don't know what the course is at this point. So course has 29 tutorials. Then for each course, then for data course, now the weird thing is, why does that only have 129 rather than that? I would have thought that there would have been an ID for each one of these things, that, you know, a number for each one of these things. That would be 29 for this course, I think. So let me just double check. Let's just for my sanity's sake, let's go to docker exec -it. We're going to go to the course DB, and I'm gonna just check the raw data. It's always good to go back to the raw data sometimes. Use how to code well, and then it is select all from tutorial where I'm guessing this course ID is equal to there. Yes, 11. It's 11, not 29. So does this mean that... Oh, no, of course. Of course, what I'm doing is I'm adding them together. Oh. I bet I've got 29 tutorials in total. Select all from tutorials. Oops. Tutorial. 40. Oh, okay, that's confusing. I'm really confused. Maybe there is one... Maybe it did... Maybe it was working on this one. One of them has 29 tutorials in, surely. No, that can't be... Let's just check. I'm getting really confused now. Oops, wrong window. Let's replace that with the last one. 15. Okay. Okay, right. That's weird. That's weird. A course has a length of tutorials. Okay, so let's just run this and just see. Make sure that integer is what I'm looking at here. Oh dear. So, course has 29 tutorials. Which course? Well, there's only 3, so let's do that one. Okay, this is weird. Let's just print these out. There's obviously something really, like, just blaringly obvious in my face that I'm just not seeing. Tutorial name, or just, yeah, name, is tutorial, it would be item. Hang on. Item dot. I'm starting to think maybe I have an answer. Maybe it's 29. No, there's only, unless it's 29 thing. That would be attributes, and that would be title. So it would be item dot attributes dot title. Okay, what have we got? How to copy. This is my Linux course. That's my Linux course. Oh, yes, and my Linux course does have 29 tutorials in it. I'm sure of it. Yeah. I'm going to just check that a minute. Let's just select all from course. Select title, select ID and title from course. Okay, and the course I'm looking for is the Linux course, which is this one, which is this one, which is the last one. So we're going to copy that. I'm sure this has quite a lot of tutorials in it. Select where course ID is. 15. But hang on a minute. Okay, so this is definitely Linux stuff. Linux. The basics of Bash. And then this is the PHP stuff. And then this is so it is adding. And then that's the container stuff. Right. Okay, I see. That's a bit embarrassing. But yeah, what it's doing is it's not doing what I want it to do. So I think what I need to do is at this point, I need to loop through the particular data, get the course ID, or maybe do it at this point, because at this point I have the course and I push through all of the tutorials. All right, let's try that. Where's my music gone? Where's the music gone? Thank you. All right. Yeah. So I think what I need to do is I need to pass in tutorials. If I can spell it right. Into process course. Or, yeah, at this point. So up here. So we've got all of the tutorials and we have the course. So now what I can do is I can loop through the course, get the tutorials, and match up the IDs. There's probably going to be a much better way of doing this than this, but let's just try it. Because essentially this is going to then produce the GraphQL, the entry for the GraphQL. This is creating the node for the GraphQL. So, okay. I haven't eaten my bruscotti yet. This is the problem when sometimes I work, I forget to eat. Excuse me. Oh, that was rude. Sorry. Sorry. That's not very gentlemanly like. The tea went down the wrong way. So, okay, let's see if we can work through this again. This is just such a nightmare to work with. Such a nightmare. So I basically want to hack upon the node content. I want to do node content dot tutorials is equal to an array of tutorials that we have got. So I need to loop through all of the tutorials. I mean, this can't be performant, can it? Think of the MVP. Think of just getting this done and then worry about refactoring it later. Tutorials dot map and so we need tutorial and we need to check that the tutorial ID is within. So we need is within. So in the PHP world, we would just do an in array. Because you would have known tutorials, which would be something like node content dot attributes. Well, no, it's not going to be node content. It's going to be course dot attributes. No, it's not. It's not even going to be that. It's going to be relationships. Course dot relationships dot oh gosh, because there's going to be more than one relationship, isn't there? So, well, no. Well, yes, it's going to be an array of tutorials. So relationship dot tutorials. Right. So now I have the array of tutorials. What I need to do is, and that should produce me data. Well, let's do dot data. Let's get in that. No. Right, so then, yeah, no, I could go down to the data root, couldn't I? Dot data. Okay, so now we got to this point. So now I can pull out the ID. So I want to make sure, I want to check that ID matches up with the ID of the tutorials that I passed. And if that's the case, whoops, then we're in for a win. So tutorials.map, we want basically, it's not an array comparison. let me just check. So we're passing in the tutorials. Tutorials is an array, and this tutorial will have a attributes title, and it should also have an attributes ID. Let's just check that. So if we do console.id here, I hope that's right. Let me just run all of this stuff. Oops, some nasties going on there. Undefined. No, I don't think it's in. I don't think it's in attributes. I think it's a level above. There we go. So that's the ID of the tutorial. That's the name of the tutorial. Fine. So what we can do is up here, where we're actually going through all the bits and pieces and marrying them all up together. With here we can do. If my mouse starts to work, thank you. It should just be tutorial.id. So we need to do if tutorial ID is equal to something, then let's just put in a blank string for now. Then node.content tutorials or course. I think my magic mouse is starting to die. So course dot attributes dot tutorials. I'm gonna just, this is me now making a section for GraphQL. In fact, I could just do away with the whole attributes thing, but we might attempt to do that later. So course attributes tutorial, we can now do this dot push, and then it would be tutorial. So we need some way of checking this ID against the known tutorials ID. So I'm not entirely sure how that works. That would be an array. Let me have a think. The tricky part is it's not actually an array. It's an object in an array. No, I don't need any of that. So, known tutorials is that, which then is course relationships is this. This is what it is. Okay, cool. Tutorials.map, it comes from tutorials, which would be which would be this. So that's why I'm checking tutorial.id. I guess what I could do to begin with is just hard code something in. Let's just grab that. Put that in there. And then let's put in console.log found smiley face. So we can get rid of that. We need to do this below it, and we can comment that out for a minute. Okay, let's just see if we can get this running. No. So, course is not defined. That's an interesting one. That's a new one on me. All right. Let's comment that out for a minute. Let's comment that out, all of this, and remove tutorials. Can I just, I'm just thinking, have I broken something fundamental? It doesn't seem broken, does it? No. No, that looks happy. Is it because of this? Yes. I'm doing a for each passing in two values here. That's not right, is it? Yeah, that's not right. Gotcha. Alright, let's see if we can rebuild that without causing a fuss. Found. Boom, boom, boom. Found. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. Groovy. Okay. So that's good. If I was to take a look at the GraphQL of this, and again, I've hard coded these in, right? So if I think I need to do a full refresh. I think I put it in attribute. I think I put it in attributes. Let's do nodes, attributes. Yeah, see, tutorial, that's been added now, boom. So we have the ID, its own relationships, and it's got its attributes. So we've got title and subtitle and slug. So press play on that. Ooh. That's not nice. Field relationships doesn't seem to... Let's close that. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now we have these are the tutorials for that course. However, I've hard coded it, haven't I? So it's not great. Let's add some more bits and pieces in for context. Oh, sorry. No, of course. What am I doing? This is gosh, daft of me. Sorry. Let's focus on one course for a minute. This is all of them. I want to just experiment with one. So otherwise I'll get confused. Okay, so here we'll do attributes, title. No, this is the filters. I don't need the filters. Here, attributes. I want definitely the tutorials, but I want the title, and the tutorial I'll have attributes. I'll have the title of the tutorial. I'll have the slug of the tutorial, and I'll also have the slug of the course. So press play on this, and here we go. So we've got how to code well course. Now what I could do, of course, is I could say, well, why don't I just make a HTTP request again for every one of the tutorials? But that's the thing I want to try and avoid, because I think that's a little bit heavy-handed. As they're coming down the line as included anyway, it should just be hopefully a case of this. I'm having to remap things a little bit, which is a bit annoying, but. So included map. Okay, so this, it's up here. This is where I'm putting all the mess. So that needs to come from this. So my instinct is to loop over this and do, well, first of all, is that an array? I'm looking at relationships, tutorials, data. So that would be attributes, relationships, tutorials, data. Yes, it is. So let's do that. Let's do known tutorials.forEach. Known tutorial, right? Okay. So then let's pull out the ID. So known ID is equal to known tutorial.id. I think that's correct. Let's see. So what I can do is just do console.log and say known ID, and have that as known ID. Let's just comment that out for a minute. I think that's right, because it's on, yeah, I think that's right. Whoops. Don't know what happened there. I pressed a button and it wasn't the one I thought. Right, so down here. There we go. Gotcha. All the IDs. All of the things. So now what I'm going to do is grab this. Put it in there. So for every one of those tutorials, we're going to loop through and get the map and see if we can do tutorial ID like that. Okay. Course dot attributes tutorial push the tutorial. Okay. Let's get rid of that. So this ID becomes known ID. In fact, we can tidy this up and put that there. Like that. Right. That looks really, really dirty. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's see. Let's rebuild this. Bang. Cannot read property of push of undefined. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh, okay. Yes. No, I've broken it, haven't I? This is new. So I need to do... I really do think my magic mouse is starting to go. As in, like, the battery, I think. It's just getting very sluggish. I don't need to do that. It's just getting very, very sluggish. So, that'll be fun. Live. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, looks good. Let's go and check GraphQL. We're going to have to refresh this page. Okay, so we want to get the tutorials of this course. So I'm going to play that. There we go. Let's just make sure they're all the right ones, shall we? So we've got container hostname. That's Docker. Exposing containers. Docker. 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 Persisting Docker. 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 Yes, we do. Okay, so I've sort of hacked up the GraphQL a little bit. I think what I'm going to do, just to tidy this up, is I'm going to put this in its own function, I reckon. But let's just see if I can actually get this to come out with the stuff that I wanted it to come out with. So here, where we've got these things here, I want this to be the list of tutorials. So in where do I need to change that? In here, this is now not relationships. This is now attributes. This is now tutorials, and this is now not data. I think if we go back to the GraphQL, that's not GraphQL, this is GraphQL. It is tutorial attributes title. There we go. Tutorials. So result.tutorials, I'm mapping that. And then this would be title. Like that. Okay, let's press, let's do this and then go over to there and refresh. Have you, no, there's an error. Let's rebuild it. Cannot read property of map of undefined. Okay. Attributes. Did I call it tutorials or did I call it tutorial? I forget. Oh, I've called it tutorial. What a colossal moron. So how do I hack that up? It's in here, isn't it? This would be attributes tutorials S. And I'm going to have to rebuild it because I'm going to have to fetch all the other things again. Boom, boom, boom. Looking good. Wait for that to build. I'm getting impatient now. Come on, build it. Okay, good. No? Still not happy? Really? Refresh the here. And that, yeah, is underlined because that needs to be S, tutorials. Now run it. Okay, so attributes, tutorials. Data, attributes, tutorials. Yeah. And then in here, it would be result. Result is data, right? Or, sorry, no, it's not. Attributes. That would be data. Data, attributes, tutorials, and then map. Because that's result attributes content, and that's result attributes title, and that is title, slug, and content, which is here, slug and content. So that is right. Right? Unless no, that's not right. It's not that, is it? That would be daft. No. Oh, wait a minute. I need to actually add it to the query. Crikey. Just because I've added it to GraphQL doesn't mean that I'm actually pulling back on the query. Silly. And there's no need for the comma there. And there is an error in GraphQL query. What? The field tutorials of type must have a selection of... Oh, God. Yes, you're right. So this would be title. I think this is right. Is that right? Let's see. Title of undefined, I think. Yeah, I need to sort this out, don't I? Because this is turning into a bit of a mess in terms of it's a formatting issue because I'm using the JSON API schema, which is great, but I'm still trying to result attributes tutorials map of undefined. So hang on. Let me just console.log, because this is getting nowhere. Console.log result. I'll wipe that out for a minute. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, it's that. I need to go. The attributes. Okay, so what have we got here on the old console? Title. Yeah, that's fine. But that's not... Aha, tutorials. So then that's all the tutorials. So... Yes, so that would be tutorials. And is it because it's not an array? No, that is an array. Definitely an array. With attributes. So why is that undefined? doesn't make any sense. Result.attributes.tutorials.map. For each one of these tutorials, we would like you to build a div where we list out the tutorial. That's going to be... Oh, hang on a minute. I think I might be looking at the wrong... This is going to be tutorial.attributes, isn't it? Because I think if we go back to here, that is... Oh, gosh. Yeah, I really do need to sort this out. This is not going to make my life easy by having attributes on everything. That's not going to be ideal. There we go. All right. So then what we can do is we can also have a sort of a number. I want a number on these things. So like I think what we can do is the index +1. Or do I have tutorial position? I can't remember. I did the course API such a long time ago. Let me just have a little look. I guess I could do it for GraphQL, couldn't I? On the attributes, active content, creation, publication, no. Is there... I'm sure, I'm starting to question myself. Is there a way... I'm sure I put in an order. I'm sure I did that. I'm thinking back to what... I did this on the train. I'm sure I did this on the train, going up to see a client. I was thinking about the way I can actually order these tutorials. I'm sure I did. Let me just double check the entities. Active meta course publication created or author video content subtitle title ID. No, I didn't. Oh wow. No, I didn't. I thought I did. That's disappointing. Come on, I would have thought I would have done that. That's frustrating. Because, you see, there's no way at the moment of me knowing what the right particular order is. Darn it. So, okay, how does one get around that? We could create a new entity. We could create a section in here with an int. Run the migrations, run the things, put in the order, and we can even set the order to be automatic based on that. And then in the GraphQL, I could then reorder this by the order. I can filter it by order. So like attributes. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to put that as an issue, mind, because that is pretty big. Let's create tutorial order. Now this is going to be going to be MVP, it's going to be UI, it's going to be DB. So this is create order. Now it can't be order because the order is actually a reserved word in MySQL. So it could be a field called display underscore order. Just to get around that. So create order, display order, field in tutorial DB. Update fixtures to show, to add an automatic order based on array. Okay, that sort of solves that. And then update GraphQL query to return Well, it's not. Ah, gosh, because it's not in GraphQL. Well, it will be in GraphQL, but I don't think there's any way of doing that because it's included. So I think I'm going to have to write some JavaScript that does a sorting, like a sorting algorithm. Yeah, so create... well, let's just put it in as updates. Tutorial list to be in defined order. Okay, let's hit save. All right, that's going to be an interesting head scratcher. So let me think. Where are we at the moment? We are at this point here, and what I wanted to do was add a number for each one of these things. That's what I wanted to do, which would incidentally be the order. Okay, so yes, I do need to get the order in. Right. Okay, so bit of command line time. Let me go to there and see, is there anything I can knock off? That's done. Display thumbnail, that's done. Okay. Done. Page should list tutorials in course. That's done. Let's just do a spot check. Let's come out of this to go back to courses. Let's click on this one. Yes, there. Cool. And let's just go back to page 2. That's all of those. Sweet. All right. So that I can mark that as sorted. Completed it, mate. Boom. I've been watching Completed It, mate, streaming. Very funny. In-Betweeners. The dude off of In-Betweeners. Okay. Page should include course duration. No, that isn't done. But could that be done? Could that be done on stream? Each tutorial should show the tutorial thumbnail. I disagree with this task. This task was okay if I wanted to have a card per tutorial, but I don't. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna... Is there a way of just getting rid of it? Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't need that task. That's gone. Each tutorial should show its title. Well, yeah. Alright, that's done. That's done. Create a tutorial order. That's what we're playing with. Each tutorial should show its duration. That... No, that's not done. Can that be done, though? We were playing with duration last Sunday. Does this... I'm sure I have durations wired up. However, I can't see them off the bat. Let's have a look. Select all from tutorial where course ID is, I'm sure. Yeah, here we go. No, that's not the duration, is it? Select all from tutorial where course ID is, where duration is greater than 0. No. Describe tutorial. Have I got it in? There must be in here, right? No. Now I'm very oh wait. It's in the video, isn't it? Yeah, it's in the video. That's gonna be Interesting because again, that's in the relationships again. Oh no. If I did the GraphQL thing again up here, there won't be any duration in these things, but they will be if I go to the video. There will be if I was to pick a particular video, let's say relationships video, this one, there will be in here, I'm sure of it. In fact, I can just show you in. Yeah. Yeah, so it's another level. It's not actually on the tutorial itself. Okay, I'll have to think about that. That's going to be an interesting challenge. I think what I can do, though, is work on this order. Let's do that. Let's do that. So with the tutorials, I want to create an order, a display order. So I'm just going to grab well, that's not UUID. It's this one. Whoops. No. Display order is an int. Teacher. Int. And I can't remember how you do defaults. I can't remember. Let's have a look. I'm sure there is like an array I have to pass in. Default value. Database default value is not properly supported. The only way to way to use database defaults is through the column definition mapping attribute where you supply SQL snippet default. You can use length of 50. No, that's not right. String. Oh, name. No. Oh, right. You would set that. It would just be that. Okay, so that would be 0. There we go. Okay. And then we'll just create some of those things. It's all great. Okay, so now in the command line, we move to this to come on. My magic mouse is slowly going. We move to this one and we go bin, because I can't remember it. I can't remember the command to make migrations. Let's have a little look and see what it is. I think it's doctrine migrate something or other. Okay, so we've got doctrine migration status. I want diff. I think it's diff. Migrations diff generates a migration comparing the current database to the mapping information. Well, I've just changed the mapping information, so we should be able to do that. And then I'm going to just check it. Let's go to always check your migrations. That's not there. It would be in not data fixtures. SRC migrations. Migrations. Here we go. This is the file. Let's have a look. So alter table tutorial, add display order. It's an int, not null. That's good. Not null. Do I want it to be null or not null? No, I think that's okay. Okay, I think that's okay. I'm going to then run this migration. That's not the command, is it? That's not the command. Migrations execute. It's. I'm sure it's doctrine migrations execute. Yeah. Yep. Yup. Boom. Okay, so now that's been added. So let's go and tackle the fixtures. So in data fixtures, when we're building the tutorial fixtures, we're going through each one of these things. When I see red things like this, it's not good. Declaration must be compatible with fixture load. Okay. All right, we'll see if that throws an error when we run it. So what I need to do is, this is looping through course data. This is doing tutorial. It's at this point is here. Tutorial equals new tutorial, and it is the course data which is from here, and that is in config, and that is in courses, that is in here. So these are actually all of the tutorials. So I could either put in hard-coded order in there, which is just ridiculous. There's no need for that. Or I can, in here, I can do set, maybe not on that one. Maybe in, no? Why is this not set? Come on. Set duration. Get duration. Set display. Why do I not have set display? I'm pretty... Oh, I'm doing it on the video. Silly me. Set display order. There we go. Okay, so have we got a key here? We got for each data as data. Let's do key. And then down here, scroll. At this point here, we want to do display order +1. Okay, right. Let's see if we can run these these migrations. I'm not feeling confident because of that red thing. This is where PHP stand comes involved, and I should have ran it after I did that upgrade. But it seems to have gone through. So now if we... My music's gone again. Let's see if we can then run a select. That's a bit worrying. Oh, it's because the IDs change each time. No worries. So we can do that. 40. There we go. That's a display order. I'm sure of it. Let's do select all from course. Let's do select all from tutorial, where course ID is equal to, let's grab one of these. I'm sure it's that one. Course. Actually, it could be that one, couldn't it? No, that's the ID of that. That would then be the ID of the course, I think. If not, we'll get another course. Nope. Select ID from course. That'll probably be easier. Thank you. Select all from course. It'll be one of the first ones. This one here. I'm sure. No, it's empty. Whoa. Okay. I'm looking for Docker Emotion, not Docker Emotion. I'm looking for Docker for Beginners. There we go. Okay, so we want select all from course from tutorial where course ID is equal to this, but we also want the title, because essentially this is what we're going to be displaying. We want the title, and we also want the display order. Boom. Okay. That's interesting. See, it's and then essentially what we're going to do is do an order by display order. There we go. So that makes sense. Right. So if I can get that to run on to work on the in the GraphQL, then we're winning. Then we're winning. So let's see. That's the wrong tab. Yeah. Hang on. That's not right. There we go. Good. Right. I haven't had any of this cake, this biscotti. I'm going to try it. So, GraphQL, Symfony, PHP, Gatsby, MySQL. Have we done anything else today? Or Bash? I think we've done some Bash. These are really crunchy. So, let's see if we can get this back in GraphQL, shall we? GraphQL land. GraphQL land. So, let's change project to the front end, and then now this would come as an attribute, so this would, technically speaking, if I was to rerun the build, pull it down from the API. No, that's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work because the API, I need to actually say... It's not going to work because I need the actual API to return it. Right, so in... It would be in JSON API, in Transformer, in Tutorial Resource Transformer, get attributes, here we go. So this needs to be display underscore, can't spell, order is equal to function tutorial. So it's a nice little closure. Return tutorial get display order. Boom. I guess what I could do is just check in Postman that is actually coming back in the things. So let's hit send. So we've got, this is the course, relationships, don't need those, I want the include bits at the bottom. Include relationships, tutorials. Oh, it would help if I just used, if I picked on a specific course. Yeah, let's, no. What was the ID of that one? That was the ID. So we should be able to go to get one by passing in that ID. Obviously the IDs change every time the database gets rebuilt, so which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Tutorials included, here we go. So we've got type, ID, and attributes, file name. Oh no, I'm looking at images. Sorry. I need tutorials. Here we go. Display order 9. Boom. Okay, so it is coming through. Go back to here. Course, attributes, tutorials, push, boom. That's gone through. Okay. So it's not come through here though. Why hasn't it done that? Did I do a rebuild? I can't remember. Let's just do it again. Come on. So, display order. Yeah. There we go. So we have the display order here. So yeah, they are coming in as different orders. So yes. Not ideal. Not ideal. What I would have to do at this point here is go, okay, so you've got the ID, fine. So now let's only push and at the same time sort. No, that doesn't make sense, does it? Because ideally I want this to be ordered correctly. I'll tell you what I could do, because they're an array, I could use the index, couldn't I? Ooh. Ooh. On push, I don't know. I don't know JavaScript as much as PHP sometimes. So on push, can I pass in a? No. But what I could do is I could do this, couldn't I? I could do this. Actually, let's just put that back for reference, otherwise I'll forget. But I could do tutorials, tutorial dot, I think it's either yeah, it would be attributes. Those damn attributes are getting in my way again. dot display order. Are they? Is it? Yeah. Is equal to tutorial. That way, it should be automatically ordered. I think. Let's give it a go. So if I click on this one, right? So how to discover PHP features, how to use the PHP interactive shell, how to use the... I think that's already in a correct order, but we'll see. Let's rebuild. Absolutely no change. I guess this is where I would need to put in the... That looks in the order, but I guess this really needs to... in here, we would need to actually list out the order just to be sure. So what I could do is... do tutorial display order space, so we would do a plus space plus tutorial name, right? And tutorials, I would need to put in display underscore order because that's what I'm retrieving. And then refresh here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sweet. All right. Okay, let's make this a little bit nicer to look at because this is not looking nice. So that would be in here. Class name. BG, let's do gray 400. Let's see what... Oh, I've just seen I've got another class name there, of course. Okay. Let's put in text 2XL. Nope. And let's change that to be a little bit I'm just experimenting. Border bottom 1. Nope. Border. I've forgotten how you change border colors on Tailwind. Although that's gone, that doesn't make sense. Why is border B? And also, so that's PL. I want to do PR as well. And I want to do... No, actually, I just want to do P4. That's what I want to do, P4. And I want to sort this out. I don't know why it's... Is it because it's in the container there? There we go. So why is that jumping over there? I also want to put in a padding on the actual keys on here themselves. So let's do P4 for the actual... There we go. It's looking a little... I wouldn't say better, but... Well, it's, yeah, I guess. I want to make this a little longer because I would prefer all this on one line, you know. What is preventing that from happening? Is it because of that's 5 and that's 6 and it's forcing that out, and then here we have... It's because of that fifth one there. What if that was what if that was 4 and 6 and that was 2 and 6? There we go. That's looking a little better. And then give that one a margin left. So, or it would be margin right of 4. No, that's not going to work at all. So to do that, you would do a div, class name, margin left of 4. There we go. I just want to give it a little bit of space. Okay, still not happy with it. I've got the border on here. So if I was to say do hover BG can't really see it. BG white. I also ideally would like to match the height up with the actual, with this. Yeah. But we're coming on to a 3-hour stream. So so there. I think we've done some good
coders.
Hello. Who was that? Who came through? Waves. Oh, wave. Hello. Thank you for following. Do appreciate this. Before I do head off, because I have been going for like 3 hours and we've gone and done all sorts of crazy, wonderful things. So what I've done is so How to Code Well, we've got a YouTube channel, the How to Code Well YouTube channel. I created another one because, why not? I created another one specifically for these streams. So I'm streaming on Twitch, but I'll be backing these up to the How to Code Well live channel. Not the main channel, because the main channel has nice, clean tutorials. This has got a load of mistakes in it, a load of things that I've tried to fix and stuff. And it's 3 hours long. But if you're interested in going back over the previous live streams, then check out this link. It's a bit of a mouthful, this link. It's because I don't have 100 subscribers on this channel, on the channel I've just sent. Once I get over 100 subscribers, I can then change the name to make it How to Go Well Live. So yeah, if you want to check that out, that'd be awesome, and subscribe to that. That would be fantastic. I've got 20 previous broadcasts backed up that I've put on. I'll be slowly putting them on, like drip feeding them over the course of the following few weeks. So the immediate live streams are not going to be there straight away. My schedule so far is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, just to get the backlog up. And then once the backlog is done, it'll be Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, which will marry up quite nicely to our live streams, because our live streams is Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays and Sundays. So I'll be able to put the Sunday stream up on the Monday, and the other streams up on the other subsequent days. But I'm adding the Saturday and the Sunday streams just to get through the backlog. And it's not, as a content creator, it's not good to just suddenly throw all the content on a platform at once, because you have to let the algorithm do its thing and work through the motions. So I drip feeding them every other day. But yeah, also we have, of course, the Discord server. So if you've got any questions, sorry, I headbutt the mic. If you've got any questions, then head over to the Discord server. Discord server is this link, and it'll have all the links to all the things I do. And there's a fantastic community there as well. So if you've got any coding questions, there's a coding help channel. And also I do coding challenges every month on there too. So yeah, but we have just hit the 3 hour mark. So I'm going to say farewell. Happy coding, everybody. And be sure to click on that link, the subscribe link. And I'll see you soon. All right, I'll see you Tuesday. Actually, before I go, yeah, okay, I'll see you Tuesday. If not, I'll be on Twitter. All right. So follow me at How to Code Well, because if there's any change to the schedule, which there might be next week, there's things I need to work through, then I'll let you know on Twitter. All right, and obviously the Discord server. But farewell, bye bye, see you soon. We've done loads of work today. I'm really happy. Thank you very much